Tonight, we're diving into a modern-day David and Goliath story, set on the South China Sea. On one side, China, a global superpower with the world's largest navy. On the other, the Philippines, a much smaller nation. For years, China was seen as the bully, the Philippines as the victim. But that's changing. Manila is pushing back, standing firm and showing the world what resilience looks like. This isn't just a local dispute, it's a test of international law and the global order. China claims almost the entire South China Sea, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of countries like the Philippines. Imagine your neighbor suddenly claiming part of your backyard. That's the scale of the problem. For Filipino fishermen, these waters are their livelihood. For the country, it's about sovereignty and pride. The confrontation is now out in the open, and the Philippines is shifting strategy. Under President Marcos Jr., Manila has adopted assertive transparency, documenting every incident with China. Journalists are embedded on patrol boats, capturing high-definition evidence of China's aggressive actions. The Philippines is taking control of the narrative, making it impossible for the world to look away. This isn't just PR, it's a fundamental change in how the Philippines sees itself. As a middle power, it's flexing influence, not military might, and providing a playbook for other small nations. By standing up to China, the Philippines is showing that courage and strategy can matter more than sheer force. This is a fight for a world where rules, not might, prevail. Why does the South China Sea matter so much? It's not just water, it's a global superhighway. 1/3 of all global shipping passes through here, carrying trillions in goods. Any disruption would send shockwaves through the world economy. Beneath the waves lie vast reserves of oil and gas, crucial for energy-hungry nations like China and resource-dependent countries like the Philippines. The sea is also a vital fishing ground, feeding millions and supporting coastal communities. Filipino fishermen have been chased away by Chinese vessels, threatening livelihoods and food security. This isn't a minor dispute over remote islands, it's about control over trade, energy, and food. Whoever controls the South China Sea controls economic lifelines and regional stability. That's why China is determined to dominate, and why the Philippines and its allies are pushing back. The stakes are global. China's strategy in the South China Sea is relentless. Think salami slicing, not invasion. Instead of open war, China uses small, incremental moves, building artificial islands, deploying Coast Guard ships, and swarming with maritime militias. These man-made islands are now military bases, complete with runways, ports, and missile systems, unsinkable aircraft carriers projecting power deep into Southeast Asia. China enforces its claims with a 3-layered force navy, Coast Guard, and a vast fishing militia that intimidates rivals. We've seen Chinese ships ramming Philippine vessels, firing water cannons, and blocking resupply missions. These aren't accidents. They're calculated acts of intimidation, designed to wear down the Philippines' resolve. The goal forced Manila to abandon its claims and people in the West Philippine Sea. It's a campaign of coercion, a great wall of ships at sea. The Philippines faces a formidable, ever-present challenge, but it's not backing down. Under pressure, the Philippines has crafted a bold response: assertive transparency. Instead of quietly handling incidents, Manila now exposes every act of Chinese coercion to the world. Journalists are embedded on patrols, capturing dramatic footage of confrontations, massive Chinese ships, water cannons, and Filipino crews standing their ground. This media blitz counters China's narrative and provides undeniable proof of aggression. It rallies the Filipino public, sparking patriotism and unity. The government faces pressure to stay firm and not give in. Most importantly, the world is watching. Other countries are forced to take a side. The Philippines is saying, "Look at what's happening. This violates international law. Will you stand with us?" It's a powerful moral and strategic move. By shifting the fight to the court of public opinion, Manila is changing the game. The strategy is risky, but it's turning the tide of global opinion. The Philippines is no longer a silent victim, it's a vocal challenger. Assertive transparency is now central to its defense. The world can't ignore what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. Manila's courage is inspiring others. What's a middle power? It's a country that isn't a superpower but isn't powerless either. Middle powers use diplomacy, alliances, and legal legitimacy to punch above their weight. Countries like Canada and Australia are classic examples. Now the Philippines is joining their ranks. Manila can't match China militarily, so it's shifting the contest to law, diplomacy, and reputation. By leveraging alliances and international law, the Philippines is defending its interests smartly. This marks a shift from dependence on the US or appeasement of China. Now Manila is charting its own course, building capacity, rallying support, and taking the lead. The Philippines is showing that influence isn't just about size, it's about strategy and resolve. As a middle power, it's a creative, proactive diplomatic actor. This evolution is reshaping its role in the region. The Philippines is no longer waiting for others. It's setting the agenda. A true middle power in action. The Philippines' most powerful weapon isn't a warship, it's a legal victory. In 2013, Manila took China to court at The Hague, challenging the 9-dash line under UNCLOS. China refused to participate, but in 2016 the tribunal ruled China's claims have no legal basis. The court condemned China's actions and affirmed the Philippines' rights. Yet the previous administration downplayed the win, hoping for better ties with Beijing. For years the ruling was ignored. China continued its activities as if nothing happened. Now, under Marcos Jr., the arbitral award is front and center in Philippine foreign policy. Officials raise it at the UN, summits, and bilateral meetings, reminding the world of the legal verdict. This gives Manila a solid foundation and puts China on the defensive. The law is now a shield, not a forgotten document. The Philippines is wielding international law as a powerful tool. It's a game changer in the fight for the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines knows it can't face China alone. Alliances are key. Its partnership with the United States is stronger than ever, with expanded military exercises and new access for U.S. forces. The message to Beijing aggression could trigger a U.S. response. But Manila isn't just relying on Washington. It's building a web of partnerships. Japan, Australia, and others are joining joint patrols and security efforts. Even countries like Canada, the UK, and France are sending ships to uphold freedom of navigation. This network raises the stakes for China. Any move against the Philippines risks a broader conflict. Manila's diplomatic scaffolding provides confidence and support. The Philippines is now at the center of a coalition defending international law. Collective strength is a powerful deterrent. The region is uniting against coercion. Manila's alliances are its force multiplier. This isn't just a local fight, it's a global test of the rules-based order. China's actions challenge the idea that disputes should be settled by law, not force. If China prevails, it sets a precedent for might over right, dangerous for small nations everywhere. The South China Sea is vital for global trade. Whoever controls it wields enormous power. That's why countries from Europe to Asia are sending ships to keep sea lanes open. The Philippines' stand is a frontline battle for open societies and international law. The world is watching because the outcome affects global peace and prosperity. Manila's courage is a beacon for those who believe in rules, not coercion. By defending its waters, the Philippines is defending principles that matter to everyone. The stakes are high, and the world is paying attention. The Philippines' path is risky, but it's also full of promise. By exposing aggression and building alliances, Manila is shaping the South China Sea's future. Its strategy is a model for other Southeast Asian nations facing similar threats. The goal isn't war, it's lasting peace based on law and stability. The Philippines' actions could unite the region and pressure China to moderate its behavior. A stable, rules-based South China Sea benefits everyone. The Philippines is proving that strength comes from courage, strategy, and justice. By standing up, it's holding up a beacon of hope for a world where law, not force, prevails.